my bits on.
We call this No Filter October.
Listen, we are here in London.
Come on.
With Mr. Dapper. Look at the connect. Look how he's looking fresh. Looking all sharp. Welcome back. You know what, Craig? You've been busy.
Yes.
If it's not fighting,
yes.
it's launching your own podcast.
Yes.
It's attending open nights for Matchroom and DAZN extensions. A life in Craig Richards, right?
Yeah, I'm utilizing my time well right now. Sometimes I stay dormant, too much rest time outside of training time, but we're training hard. We're putting ourselves out a bit more content. You know, sometimes I don't record and keep track and interact with people enough. So the new channel is to keep interactive and say what's on my mind. So we're mixing it up.
I think we needed that because there was a lot of things that I enjoyed in episode 1. I literally listened to it back to back.
Jeez.
And there was a lot of stuff that was answered in there that hadn't been answered before. One of the key things for me was the changing and then going back to your old training. It seems to be a little bit of a thing with a few fighters at the moment. Chantal Cameron going back as well, being one of the fighters that's returned home, as she calls it. So it's like, it was good to hear you as a fighter put your perspective and kind of like put us as the viewers, as the fans in our place, because sometimes we will run away with 100%. A rumour.
Do you know, as I said to someone the other day about people pushing narratives, and then people just run with them. Oh, he's not that good, or he's a quitter, or he ain't got heart. And then when you ask them, what's the facts behind that? Well, someone else said it, but what's it based on? There's no information based off it. It's just people hear what someone else says and they run with it. So for me, like when people, as I said in my episode 1, they start putting you with names, I'm like, well, how does he link with me? Who's he be? Like, what domestic fights has he even had? How's he proven himself? Oh, we're going off that promotion, or he said he's good. So it's about us putting people in a place through stats and facts and just bringing things to light. So a lot of the casuals who can't do their research understand things better.
Well, we need that, Craig, because a lot of fighters like yourself, listen, you're very polite, you're very respectful, the total opposite to me. So people don't really get to see that personality, and it's refreshing to see that, but you're doing it on your own terms. It's your own channel. I think a lot of fighters will follow suit. So it's nice to be one of the trailblazers. I know Vidal Riley's been doing it for a minute, but it's great to see that, you know, one of our fighters is carrying on with it as well.
Of course, I've got a lot to say.
And I like that, I've got a lot to say.
I've got a lot to say. The merch is coming out next week. T-shirts, tune in, they'll be on sale. Come on. And we're just rolling, so we'll see where it goes with it. But right now, it was all about just getting things off my chest, having a message and having a platform, and keeping interacting with people.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talk about fighters making changes. You obviously went back to the Sims gym, the Matchroom gym, where you belong, where it was home. And then you fought, obviously, Dan Azeez.
I fought Patrick first.
Well, yes, you did actually. McCrory, and then you obviously devastated that. But the fight that was for us, for the culture, I always say that. Sorry, viewers, if you're offended by that. But the two guys from South London getting it on. We've got Caribbean versus Nigerian. There's so much layers to this fight. It could have been, to me, it could have been sold a lot more.
Jello first, rice and peas.
Do you know what I mean? Plantain versus plantain. This is layered. It's layered, but damn, that was a cold fight, man. I had to look away from the TV screen. That knockout was really cold. It was cold.
I feel like for me,
you know, I actually forgot it. I forgot about the fight because it was that traumatic.
You know what? For me, I feel like with boxing, I've seen a lot of funny decisions and stuff over the years. And obviously he's West African, we're in West Africa. I just didn't want to leave it to any chance. It was the same thing when I fought Patrick earlier in the year. I was in Ireland, he's Irish. Didn't want to leave it to any chance, so I got the knockout. And sometimes that's what it takes to separate yourself at a certain level to push up, to show I'm ready for the next level.
Well, you definitely did there. You've definitely put yourself back on the map. Like I said, you're one of like the Matchroom faithfuls, but it's like, come on, Craig, we need a little bit more. And that little bit more is what we're getting. And you're coming out of yourself, doing the podcast as well, so...
I felt like I owed it to the fans. I felt like a year and a half, 2 years ago when I had a bad performance at the other gym, I felt like I didn't let just myself down. I let people believe in me, the fans, Matchroom, everyone down. And I kind of said to myself, you know what, I'm not going to talk for this next year. I'm just going to make my actions do the talking. And that's what I went out and done. Had 2 fights, 2 good knockouts against world level operators. Now I said, all right, I've done that now. Now I can start talking again as well as performing. Put it together now.
You know what? If, and I will say if, Callum Smith wasn't fighting Morrell, I would have said you two would have been ideal. But I know you're in the same stable, so it would have been a little bit political.
Yeah.
However, you've already been in with the likes of Dimitri Bivol, so you going in with Callum Smith. You can do that. You talk about levels. You said, why is man putting me on this level when I've already done that?
Apart from Batervev has pushed him to Bivol to that level. We was 1 round, half round short at that level 5 years ago. And since 5 years, I've gone full circle and learned so much. And this is the best version of myself. And if I was that close at that world level 5 years ago, imagine now, if I've got a guy like Tony Sims, head coach, and putting me through my paces at the level I'm at now. I believe in myself, put it that way.
What is going to happen next for you anyway? Because the light heavyweights is a little bit quiet. It's like there's something simmering underneath. Don't get me wrong, because I am really looking forward to that Callum Smith versus David Morrell fight. Yes. I am. But what is happening next for Craig Richards? That's what we want to know.
Well, it's just all, as you know, Bivol right now has got all the belts. He pulled out injured. He was meant to do the unification. He's got a couple of mandatories. So in the next week or two, we'll kind of know where he's at, because we see what he's going to vacate, what he's going to defend, and we'll see the landscape of the division. So he's kind of like where everyone's kind of seeing what he's going to do, depending on what we're going to go for, kind of thing. But I'm in the gym, ready. As soon as that call comes, I'll be ready to go. So whichever avenue, whoever I've got to fight, whatever belt I've got to go towards, I'm ready.
Do you feel like, I mean, Willie Hutchinson is a fighter that you'd want to obviously even the score, get the score right, but is there any benefit in fighting him now in your career?
There's probably not a lot of benefit right now.
It's like personal, isn't it?
It's more personal, just because I knew that I was having an off night, and I just want to show, just to rectify, to show what I'm really about, to go out there and perform as myself back in the matchroom gym, to show the differences, just to show it was an off night. But it's not necessarily like maybe beneficial for my career in that aspect. It's more just, maybe it's more of a personal thing to show people that they're just a one-off night.
Well, how do you think Ezra Taylor gets on with him? Because that is an early fight for Ezra.
Yeah.
But Ezra is obviously a grown man. He wants to take on the challenges. But how do you see that fight going when you talk about the styles actually of both of them?
To be fair, I haven't really watched Ezra, to be honest. I know he's not had that many fights, and I know Willie Hutchins is the good operator. Despite everything, he can fight. So I don't know if it is too early. With boxing, you only know until you get in there. So who am I to say it's too early, too late, or perfect timing? They know between themselves, and we'll come fight that whenever that is. We'll see if he is ready for it or not.
And Smith versus Morrell, how do you see that going?
Very good fight as well. 2 great world operators. I'm sure everyone wants Callum to bring it back to the UK, but it's not an easy fight. David Morrell's a serious operator as well, so you just never know, really. It's another fight I'll be intrigued to watch, and I'll be sitting there watching to see how that pans out.
It's about that pressure, I think, with Morrell, because obviously that's how David Benavidez got the better of him.
Yes.
And I think it's if he can sustain that pressure, because Callum will come forward, maybe not with the amount of shots of like Benavidez, let's go, but he can put that pressure on, because we saw obviously the to and fro with him and Joshua Buatsi.
Callum can punch, and he throws a good variety of shots. He's seasoned. He doesn't work, obviously his work rate isn't as big as Benavidez, but I think he possesses some assets different, which is good, some not as good. So it's stylistically, if it does leave that, I wonder how he'll get on with the clash of styles. David Morrell can also punch, he can box. It's an interesting fight.
I want you then, and I want the fighters version of where you rank these light heavyweights, but I'm going to say, just for now, just take Bivol and Beterbiev out of it. So the light heavyweights, and please include Benavidez. I know we're supposed to be going up to cruiser for a bit, but whatever. Let's keep him in there. Rank the fighters and the ones in the UK, and let's see where you put them.
I would say, like, yourself. Outside of Beterbiev and Bivol, right now as being the WBC champion, you'd probably have to rank Benavidez next. And then I believe it's all to play for after that. I feel like this 2026, 2027, everyone proved themselves, and let's see what everyone's about. I don't feel like I want to put anyone in certain numbers. I don't think anyone's locked themselves in to earn that next spot. I think that's what 2026 is going to unfold.
So where are you then? Where do you put you? Because obviously you've got Callum Smith there. Would you put yourself on the Callum Smith?
I believe like he's the interim champion, so on paper people will say Callum will be ahead of me on paper, but I just feel like at this stage it's all to play for, and I feel like obviously he's had a lot of domestics. He's proven himself in winning domestic. I've won a lot of domestic fights and proved myself, obviously knocking out the former IBA world champion last year, knocking out the former European champion, turned my whole career around. But he's obviously proven himself before domestically. Obviously, he had the fight to Callum, which didn't go his way. But I just feel like now we're all floating around
start
that way.
Mixing it back
to
up
start
again.
Saying who is going to be the one to push on to be a world champion. That's why I say it's all to play for. Everyone's going to have their arguments of why they think they're the best. So it's just proving yourself 2026 to 2027.
We love it. Listen, Craig. 11 minutes. That's good for me.
Jeez.
I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much for coming back on the channel. Keep putting out your content.
Come on.
We're loving it. I like the fact that you're choosing, your panel to have on there as well, to have that back and forth with. It suits you.
Yes.
I reckon people are going to follow suit. But
I hope they follow my channel. Don't follow suit, just follow channel at Spider Records. Get on the YouTube. A lot to say. Come on.